You see the little shit going. That's a video.
The only guy that can beat Canelo right now is Andre Ward. I'm telling you right now, he's the only guy that can beat Canelo right now. Benavidez can give him a hell of a fight. Hell of a fight. And I still gotta see it. I still want to see it. Like, I'd rather see Benavidez fight than Plant right now. They'll sell out Cowboy Stadium. No problem.
I'm with you.
But
those were the words of Timothy Bradley as he breaks down the only person that can beat Canelo Alvarez is Andre Ward. And let me counterpunch. Andre Ward is a great fighter. He's a great fighter. I think he does have the skills to beat Canelo. He does. But that's when he was fighting, okay? Now, he hasn't fought in 3 years. And if he went out there and fought Canelo cold, he would get beat. Canelo's in his prime. He's durable, he's flexible, but most importantly, he's been fighting, okay? So Andre Ward would have to take some tune-up fights to get prepared for Canelo. I don't think he's there. I'm pretty sure he's in good physical condition. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nothing's wrong with him. I think, but training and conditioning for a fight is different, especially on the caliber of Canelo. And to hear Timothy Bradley say it might come off a little biased, you know what I'm saying? Because they're both commentators for ESPN and all that, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, if there was a fighter that could beat Canelo along that weight class line, it would be Andre Ward. Let's look at it this way. Andre Ward would be the guy that Canelo Alvarez should fight. He would be the guy that everybody on the LDBC and all those guys would be talking about Canelo's ducking if Andre Ward was still fighting to this day. Okay? And if Canelo didn't fight him, there would be all the room to say that Canelo's ducking. So, yeah, that would be a name that would come up if Canelo was coming up to where he's at now. Okay, because Andre Ward would have been there unless Andre Ward pulled a Roy Jones and ascended to the heavyweight division to fight someone like Joshua or somebody like that. You know what I mean? But for Andre Ward taking on Canelo Alvarez, that's one great fight, one very good fight. And the southpaw being with somebody like that, he's better than Billy Joe. He's, I think he would have beat Triple G. Real talk. Like Andre Ward, that's why Triple G didn't want any. So if Triple G, the boogeyman, quote unquote, didn't want to even take up, no, guys, no, Andre, no. He didn't want to go up to 168, but he'll come up for Canelo. That tells you something already by itself. Golovkin will come to 168 for Canelo, but won't go for Andre Ward. That already tells you everything you need to know about someone like Andre Ward. SOG, okay? Andre Ward is that guy not to play with. But Andre Ward did say this. He did tell Timothy Bradley, and Timothy Bradley say, hey, well, if you think you can test me, give me a call. Right?
Call him.
Give me a call. Because if you think, because I'm not going to take you seriously getting back into shape. For what? For what reason? Why would I get in shape for that? For what? You know what I mean? Because if he calls out Andre Ward, that fight will be done. I mean, there's nothing really else to do unless he wants to fight Spence, make Spence move up. You know what I mean? But why not beat the guy that beat Kovalev? Screw knocking out a Kovalev because, for all we know, he took a dive anyway. You know what I'm saying? Kovalev wasn't the same crusher he was. You know what I'm saying? When Andre Ward fought him, Andre Ward dethroned him. Right? So it's interesting to hear Timothy Bradley say that. You guys tell me what you think about Andre Ward waiting on the phone call for Canelo Alvarez if he feels that he can step up and beat Andre Ward to come out of retirement. Tell me what you think. Please subscribe. You guys been counterpunching. Peace.